What's up, everybody? What is up? The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill is not hip hop. Does it incorporate some hip hop in it? Yes. Does it incorporate some rap? Yes. But one thing you jive suckers gotta understand is this: hip hop rap, hip hop / rap is a subgenre of a subgenre. Okay? It's not a rudiment, it's not a root genre. It is a branch, not a root, not even a stock. Hip hop is a subgenre of rhythm and blues. And the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill taps back in to the original roots of rhythm and blues. Multi-genre. I'm over here. Sorry about that. Patreon, we over here. For those of you here, we also on Patreon. I'm taking questions from Patreon, and I will be playing some music. The music copy will stay up on Patreon. The music will be edited out on YouTube. So if you want the full effect, you got to join the Patreon. If you're watching this later on and you see some snippets missing, it's because I played some music. And the music stayed up over on Patreon, okay? So what we're about to do right now is we're about to break this down because I saw some articles recently, some people talking on other channels, some of these so-called hip-hop channels, and I see a lot of the hip-hoppers trying to claim the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill as a hip-hop album. And I find that quite insulting, the way they insult the mother genre of hip-hop. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to break this down, and I wrote an article at Incense and Ashtray at incenseandashtrays.com. So what we're about to do is, we're about to review my article breakdown of why the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill is not a hip-hop album. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to read some of y'all questions in the chat. So I'm going to focus in on the questions coming in from Patreon. But I will get to some of y'all later on here over here on YouTube. So give me like 1 minute or less, and we are going to get started. All right? Let's go. right, I'm here. I'm here. What's up, y'all? Let me get some background music playing, and then we gonna get started. I don't like when I don't have no background music playing. I got a whole bunch of screens over my background music. Here we go. Let me break that down. Anyway, I'm here. What's up, y'all? What's up, chat room? What's up, Kendall? What's up, Tex? It's Akuma. I want to talk about something other than just than what's going on in the news today, you know? It's a lot going on in the news. A lot of wartime scenarios going on, and you know, you see what's going on over there in Iran and Israel. But at the end of the day, Iran, Israel, these cats got to fight this stuff out. You know what I mean? We ain't nothing we can do. These people gonna fight, let them fight. What we can't do is allow all that nonsense to take over our mind and our brains and what we have going on. You dig? But what's up, y'all? What's up, chat room? Let's have a fun discussion today. Let's have a fun discussion. I wrote this article on incenseandashtrays.com. If you don't have Incense and Ashtrays bookmarked in your Google or whatever, Firefox, Safari, Bing, whatever you use, make sure you bookmark incenseandashtrays.com. So this was an article that I put up because I want to talk a little bit about some music. And I saw some stuff this week where they were talking about this album being, you know, a hip hop album. So it put some thoughts in my mind. And I wanted to give an honest review of the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill and where it comes from. Because genres like neo soul always get othered, always get pushed to the side, always get treated like some little thing that's off to the side. When fact of the matter is, neo soul was just rhythm and blues. It had rhythm and blues not been uninterrupted in the 70s by corporate industry BS. That's all neo soul is. And when we're dealing with the context of the late 90s, the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill was most definitely, if you look at the albums that came out during that time, far more in the neo soul category than anything else. And what we're gonna do is we're about to break that down and go through it. Oh yeah, appreciate that. Salute to the Culture United. Salute to appreciate that. Ever since the podcast, appreciate that. I was on the Culture United last night with the company man, Justin Hunt. I've been wanting to do that. That's one of the few shows I really want to do. You know what I mean? When I go around YouTube, I like doing my own thing. I really don't. You notice I don't really interview too many people, and I don't do too many other interviews. But I really want to do that show, and I'm glad I got the chance. So salute to Justin Hunt. And also Patreon. Check out my Patreon. I interviewed with Mark Scarborough earlier. He is the son of Skip Scarborough. And we went through some of his father's timeless hits. Hits like this. I know you know that song. We went through the story being in the studio behind songs like this. You know, we love songs like that. We went, and that's on Patreon. Y'all want to check it out. We went through the history of songs like this. Yeah, it was a good interview. It was a really good interview, you know. We went through the history of songs like this.
ahead of me.
Y'all know that song. We went through the history of this. All songs written by Skip Scarborough. So we went down through the history of that, and that is up right now on Patreon. Y'all gonna start getting some clips from that interview this week, later on this week on YouTube, and I'll post the whole interview sometime probably next week. The part that's not exclusively for Patreon. So we went through the history of a lot of those songs. So make sure y'all check that out over on Patreon, all right? All right, so here we go. Let's get back to this article that I wrote on incenseandashtrays.com. Why the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill is a classic R&B album, not hip-hop. Was the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill a really good hip-hop album? This article argues that Lauryn Hill's masterpiece is better understood as a classic R&B album, one that blends gospel, soul, doo-wop, funk, and hip-hop in the tradition of Black American music. While the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill is a genre-bending R&B album. Let's break this down. Few albums in modern music have been debated and categorized as much as the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Some call it hip-hop, others call it neo-soul, some simply call it conscious rap with R&B influence, some call it pop. Most of the confusion comes from how modern audiences think about genres. When we look at the deeper history of Black American music, the answer becomes clearer. The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill belongs to a long tradition of rhythm and blues albums that blend multiple musical styles while remaining rooted in soul. The album incorporates gospel, doo-wop, funk, reggae, jazz harmony, and hip-hop, but that kind of musical blending has always been the norm in Black American music. What do I mean by that? I told y'all today we're gonna be the full version is gonna be over on Patreon, but we will play some music that will be edited out later on for the YouTube audience. But this is what I mean by that. You go to say an album like, you go to Stevie Wonder, and let's just say let's go to Spotify. Oh shit, this is my my bad. I got my music up. That's my history of R&B course that I have up. Let's go to Spotify here, okay? And why is my camera not showing? There we go. Let's go to Spotify. Let's go to Songs in the Key of Life. That's what we're going to do over here. And then, over here I'm doing Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Here's a Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Then on Apple, I'm going to do Songs in the Key of Life over there. And we're going to give a comparative analysis by what I mean by that. When you go through Lauryn Hill's masterpiece, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, you got so many genres that are jumping out at you, you know? And why the fuck is my camera frozen? Is it frozen over here? What about here? What the hell is going on with my camera? What the hell is going on with my camera? Spotify. I'm not gonna fuck around with this thing. Fuck it. I'm not gonna fuck around with it. I ain't got time to be going fucking around with this shit. Here we go. Let's go into songs in the key of life. What do we mean by it's a multi-genre album? When you look at classic R&B albums, you have multiple genres in one. Let's take songs in the key of life. You start off with songs like Love's in Need of Love Today. Straight up gospel. Stevie Wonder starts you off with church. Love's in Need of Love Today and Have a Talk with God. Just gonna have a talk with God. Then he takes you for the first song that was ever composed completely of keyboard strings, Village Ghetto Land, with a classical feel. Would you like to? And then in the song number 4, he takes you into Contusion, acid jazz funk. Acid jazz funk was a new genre at this time. This is 1976. Donald Byrd is really the person. Flight Time, that album, 1973. That's when that Afro jazz fusion started to come in really into play. And R&B funk jazz fusion. It started with Donald Byrd, and around that time, which Skip Scarborough was also part of that, the Mizell brothers. A lot of that sound came out of LA. And then Stevie Wonder jumped in on it too with Contusion. Then he jumped you into Sir Duke, which is more of a swing fusion, vaudeville swing, funk fusion. And then he took you to straight funk with I Wish. You see how the genres jump around? And then a ballad with Knocks Me Off My Feet. You see how just in that first part of the album, and then a conceptual song like Saturn. I love this song. And then turns around and gives you the traditional Black American shuffle. The shuffle's ours. This is a unique American rhythm. Gospel again. Then he goes into Spanish. I mean, he's singing more of a South American style of Spanish. Then he jumps you in right back into R&B with As, him and Herbie Hancock. And then Something to Smoke To. And I'm missing, what was I'm missing? Here, sorry. And then you get into more Latin fusion. Sound of the Moors. So you see how traditional R&B albums jump around. Let's go to the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Let's go to that album. Let's go to that album. Let me back out of this shit. Why does Apple make it so hard to search? Let's go to the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. This is where she integrates the hip hop with the patois, which the with the sort of a reggae style feel. But understand, reggae comes out of R&B. That's also something Stevie Wonder would do, integrate reggae in a lot of his music, especially as you got towards the late 70s. Again, something that's common in R&B, touching on other genres that come from R&B. Then you get to X Factor. Straight up rhythm and blues. Straight up. Straight up, that's a swinging the 16th notes. This is rhythm and blues right here, y'all. And then she goes to gospel. Not Jesus gospel, but still gospel. With Carlos Santana.
One day, I'm gonna understand. I touch my belly overwhelmed by what I had been chosen.
She goes to church.
Perform. But then an angel came on.
And then she does something right here, doo-wop thing. A lot of people, remember this came out when I was like, what, 11th grade? 10th or 11th grade? Mr. Doo-wop thing. She gives love to our past.
Cats used to harmonize like, my men and my women, don't forget about the dean. This is not the most the king, yo. It's about a thing, feel real good, wave your hands in the air and lick 2 shots in the atmosphere.
That James Brown funk.
It's been 3 weeks since you were looking for your friend, the one you let hit it and never called you again. Remember when he told you he was about to bend?
Now she gets to rap.
Like you and him, they give him a little trim to begin. How you think you really gonna pretend like you wasn't down and you called him again? Plus when you give it up so easy, you ain't even fooling him. If you did it then you probably can. Talking out your neck saying you're a Christian, a Muslim, sleeping with the gin. Now that was the sin that did Jezebel.
You know what makes that song so unique and so R&B? It's a message incorporating doo-wop and rap. So somebody say, oh, DeJuan, all that rapping, then it's hip hop. No. Black music is always rapped. Black music has always rapped in rhythm and blues. And we could take that back to the father of rhythm and blues. Now I don't want to do Zoom. I'll do Spotify. That goes back to the father of rhythm and blues. Father of rhythm and blues, Louis Jordan. Louis Jordan, for those you don't know, is the father of rhythm and blues. He took the jump blues sound, and this is what we get rhythm and blues out of Louis Jordan. He's the one that codified the bandstand, taking the blues from some kind of a somber sound to more of a party sound, and rapping and singing at the same time.
Never been down to New Orleans, then you can understand just what I mean. Now, all through the week, as quiet as a mouse, but on Saturday night, they go from house to house. You don't have to pay the usual admission if you're a cook or a waiter or a good musician. So if you happen to be just passing by, stop in at the Saturday night fish fry. You was rocking. You was rocking.
You see what I mean? By the elements are these hip hop elements were already here. Okay? And it wasn't just that song by Louis Jordan. It was plenty. He rapped a lot.
With the pack on my back, I'm headed for the station with the pack on my back. I'm tired of transportation in the back of a hack. I just love the rhythm of the clickety-clack. I hear the whistle blowing, see the smoke from the stack. Pal around with Democratic fellas named Mac. Take me right back to the track. Jack, choo choo, choo.
These are the first days of R&B. This is before rock and roll, y'all. Remember, rock and roll is a spinoff of rhythm and blues. Rock and roll is a spinoff of rhythm and blues. Incorporating rap with rhythm and blues is literally day one. It's literally day one. rapping, that having that on the one sound, that funk, again, derivative of rhythm and blues. This is the spot I want to get to.
One, two, get down. I paid the cost of being born.
James Brown, he was always rhyming.
Look at me, you know what to see. See a bad mother.
And when you get to Doo-Wop Thing by Lauryn Hill, it's those elements combined with doo-wop. When she was talking about, ooh, 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 that comes from this.
Up on the roof.
This is doo-wop.
Up on the roof.
When this old world starts getting me down and people are just too much for me to face.
That harmony.
I climb way
when she's saying doo-wop thing, she's giving love to the drifters, the platters.
Right into space.
Y'all get where we coming from? Y'all get where we coming from? So you see how she's combined. That's what rhythm and blues and Black American music does. It innovates, and as it innovates, it goes back and collects what came before, and it puts it together into a beautiful song. And then it goes back and collects other genres that it inspired, whether that be Latin jazz, reggae, whatever. They take that and they'll every now and again bring those elements back into it. And that's really what Lauryn Hill was doing on this album. When you see what she was doing, so you see what I was saying by she's pulling it all together. She's pulling it all together. So again, if you're watching this later, I'm taking all the music out. So only on Patreon, the music is going to stay up. Only on Patreon. Let's go into this part of the article. R&B is the catch-all category for Black American music. Before R&B was called R&B, it was called race music. And for those of you who are in my music university course, if y'all we want to talk about this on Sunday's class, we can talk about this. We're going to talk about this deeper on Sunday's class. And if you want to be a part of my music university course, go to my Patreon. It is in the description. And I have a full-on music university course where on Sundays, most Sundays, not every Sunday, but most Sundays, we go into depth into the history of Black American music. And right now we are almost done with this particular course, the history of rhythm and blues, but it's continuing education. Here's the reason why I'm saying this is R&B. We gotta remember, in American music has always been considered Black music was always called race music. Before they called it R&B, before they called it rock and roll, before they called it jazz, before they called it blues, country, it was called race music. So I know I'll maybe get some people come here, Juan, why you always talk about black this, black that, black that? Because that's the context in which America creates its genres. It's based on color. And what they do is, us as Black people, we create all the genres, and then what they'll do is they'll find a way to herd us all into one of them. R&B was one that they herded us all into for a long time. Now they're herding everything into hip hop. But as you see here, I'm showing you talking about historically R&B included elements of gospel, blues, jazz, doo-wop, funk, soul, spoken word rap. I can go even deeper when it comes to that. Y'all want to go even deeper? Let's go. Let's go to the great Prince. Let's go to the great Prince. The Purple Rain album. Let's pay attention to how many genres Prince has on the Purple Rain album. Now they call this pop. That's what they'll do is when black music, when it gets too big for R&B, when white folks admit that they like it, it goes into pop. But listen to the genres Prince is playing around in on just the Purple Rain album. You start out with gospel. This is gospel. This is gospel rock. Straight up gospel rock. Straight up gospel rock. Then he goes into something that's more like a pop. Now he goes more into rock and roll. You see how he went from gospel rock to now more so traditional rock and roll? It's straight up rock and roll. And then from there, I'm not gonna do every song. You get songs like, now he's going this straight up Minneapolis sound right here. Straight up Minneapolis sound, rhythm and blues.
Say she was a sex fiend. I met her in a hotel lobby, masturbating with a magazine. She said, how'd you like to waste some time? And I could not resist when I saw a little naked grind.
That's straight up blues country. And then with Doves Cry, this is what the epitome of what they call pop. This is 80s pop, all day, every day, twice on Sunday. Then 80s pop. And then he ends the album off with a classic country western. Straight up, uncut country western. I know they told y'all this is pop. No, this is motherfucking country western. Here from that country western right here. Purple rain, purple rain. That's country, nigga. Purple rain, purple rain. That's country, nigga. Nigga, that's country. And when you go back to the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, that's exactly what she's doing. Let's read some more of the article, and then we're going to go and play some more of the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. The music was unified less by rigid sonic rules and more by a shared musical foundation, groove, gospel harmony, improvisation, and rhythmic vocal expression. That's why so many classic Black American albums move effortlessly across styles. And here's where I talked about Stevie Wonder, That's the Way of the World. And it's going in and talking about, it says Black American music historically functioned as a continuum rather than a set of isolated genres. And that's exactly what Miss Lauryn Hill is doing on this album. Black American music historically functioned as a continuum rather than a set of isolated genres. We got to understand that whole isolated genre shit came in the 80s and really got put in strong in the 90s. 80s and the 90s is when they really started to isolate us. You know what I mean? Because bands used to go all over the place, man. Bands used to go all over the place. You can look at, you take a Funkadelic. Take a band like Funkadelic. Cosmic Slop. Straight up hippie movement. Well, I kind of like the One Nation Under a Groove album of that version of that song. Library. You take a song. You take something like the Cosmic Slop out, like the One Nation Under a Groove album from Funkadelic. One Nation Under a Groove starts you off with straight up funk. So I can't get around it. So low you can't get under it. So high. I'm gonna get down one time. Then you go from there to a song that Sly Stone helped write with Parliament Funkadelic, to Who Says a Funk Band Can't Rock. They were telling you, we can rock and we can funk. Especially, this is Eddie Hazel. Nothing, this is Kid Funk. This is Kid Funk on guitar. Funk and rock at the same time. And that's Bootsy on bass. The rock band can't play funk music. Who says the funk band can't play rock? We're a multi-genre people. I wish I could play the guitar. Hey, J-Mo, where you at? J-Mo, if you watch, I need you to play this. Who says a funk band? Who says a jazz band can't play dance music? Who says a rock band can't play funk music? Who says a funk band can't play rock? We're going to dance and sing out loud. We're going to rock and roll around. Just watch them dance, watch them dance. And on that same album, you get some more rock. Especially, no, let me see. The Maggot Brain. Gospel rock. One album, multiple genres. One album, multiple genres. Let me see. Let's go to Earth and Fire, the greatest band of all time, right there along with Funkadelic. Go to the All in All album. Afro-Cuban rhythms with funk. This is the Afro-Cuban sound combined with funk. Them Phoenix horns are cold, ain't they? And then you go to a conceptual song like Fantasy. Can you place either of those last two songs in a genre? From Serpentine Fire to Fantasy. Can you play, what genre is this? You tell me, you tell me. I don't know. Is that a genre? Then you go right back into Love's Holiday. Check out my Patreon. I interview Skip Scarborough's son about the story behind this song. And then you go to Beijo, a Brazilian rhyme. What genre is this? What genre is this, y'all? I don't... What do you classify this under? It's some gospel, Brazilian chords, funk. What do you classify that under? Come on, Verdine. And then they take us right back. Then you get a couple instrumentals. What do you classify that as? Then you got songs like Running. What genre do you put this in? This is one album by Earth and Fire. This is just one album. What do you put this in? I don't know what genre to put this in. You got some gospel vocals. It ain't Afro-Cuban. It ain't African. This bridge is gospel. That's doo-wop. Those harmonies are beautiful, aren't they? And to close that album out, you go right back to the church. 6/8. Remember, 6/8 is a tempo that the heart beats. This is straight up gospel right here. Be ever wonderful.
Be ever wonderful.
straight back to the church. Black American music always goes back to the church. The miseducation of Lauryn Hill brings you right back to the church. It always comes back to the church, y'all. It always comes back to gospel. Now let's go back to the miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Let's go back to this album. So do you see the consistencies? She covered in just the first five tracks. Rap, hip hop, rhythm and blues, gospel, and doo-wop. Those are just the first 5 songs of the album. Do you not see the linear connection between Lauryn Hill and rhythm and blues before it was interrupted by the industry? Then you go into songs like Superstar.
Yo, hip hop.
Straight up.
Out in the heart, yo. Now
Rap.
Everybody trying to charge
Hip hop.
Hip hop. Started out in the
With
heart, yo.
rhythm and blues.
Come on now, baby. Come on now, baby. Come on now, baby. Come on. Come on now, baby. Come on now.
What does she do right here?
Come on now, baby. Come on. Come on, baby. Light my fire. Everything you drop is so tired.
This production is rhythm and blues with hip hop layering.
How come we ain't getting no higher? Now tell me your philosophy on exactly what an artist should be. Should they be someone with prosperity?
This is why you can't put it in the hip hop right here. This right here, this next part, this bridge.
Now who you know without any
She brought the heart.
who you know without any that lives above a spiritual law. And does anything
She brought in the heart.
just because.
And then final hour, what do you get?
I treat this like my thesis. Well-written topic broken down into pieces. I introduce, then produce words.
James Brown Funk.
Abuse how I juice up this beat like I'm Deuce.
More
Two
like
people both equal like I'm Gemini. Rather Simeon.
James
If I
Gaston.
Jimmy on this lock, I can pop it. You can't stop it. Drop it. Your whole crew microscopic like particles while I make international articles and on the cover. Don't discuss the baby mother business. I've been in this 30 of you can't tell me I witnessed first-handed. I'm candid, you can't stand it. Respect demanded and get flown around the planet. Rock hard like granite or steel. People feel Lauryn Hill from Newark to Israel, and this is real. So I keep making the street ballads while you.
That's kind of a James Gaston kind of a pocket, and it's kind of a sped up James Gaston pocket. I'm sorry, not James Gaston. Gaylord. Gaylord Perry. Gaylord Birch. I said Gaylord Perry. Gaylord Birch. When you listen, you heard that pocket. Now listen to a Gaylord Birch pocket. This is where hip hop come from right here. This is just a slower version. This is Gaylord Birch on the drums of the Pointer Sisters. But I want to get to the.
I know we can make it. I know that we can.
You don't hear Lauryn Hill in this?
We can work it out. Yes, we can. We know we can. Yes, we can. Or why can't we? If we want it, yes, we can. I know we can.
Y'all remember Naughty by Nature took that? Y'all remember Kurt Franklin took that? Who remember Naughty by Nature and Kurt Franklin? Hip hop is rooted in rhythm and blues. So when we go to the hip hop songs, we're not going to trace the roots of these hip hop songs back to Jamaica. You're not going to trace the roots of these hip hop songs back to the Caribbean or Latin America or New York. You're going to trace the root of these hip hop songs to just Black American music. Not one particular city, not one particular region, no outlier and outside of the country. That right there goes right back to this.
I know darn well we can work it out. Yes, we can. I know we can. Yes, we can. Or why can't we if we want to? Yes, we can. I know we can make it work. I know we can make it if we try. Oh, yes, we can. I know we can. Yes, we can. Great gosh almighty. Yes, we can. I know we can.
Now you know where Naughty by Nature gets it from. Still with a positive message. All right. Now let's get back to the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. See, when we go hip hop, we can always trace it back to Black American rhythm and blues. Seth May, I mean, Super Chat says, would you say Betty Davis's Godmother Funk? No. You know, she was that's what they said on the bus song. No, the Tales from the Bus. The mother of funk is Shaka Khan. Now, Betty Davis was no, but you gotta realize that was she wasn't as widely known as that documentary made her sing. Let's put it like that. He said Kendrick Lamar does the same thing, but it's not cohesive as Lauryn Hill's. He has elements, but we would definitely put Kendrick Lamar most definitely in hip hop. But he does multi-genre albums, most definitely. Kendrick Lamar does multi-genre albums. But you see that, all right? And then we go to songs like this.
When it hurts so bad, 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 why does it feel so good? When it hurts so bad, 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 why does it feel so good? When it hurts so bad, when it hurts so bad. I love real hard.
Straight up rhythm and blues.
But the love was in return.
And she used that hurt so bad. That whole theme of, you know, it hurts so bad, that comes out of Little Anthony and the Imperials. She flipped this song by Little Anthony and the Imperials.
I know you
Which is a doo-wop song, by the way.
don't know what
This is
I'm
doo-wop.
going through. Standing here looking at you. Well, let me tell you that it hurts so bad. It makes me feel so sad. It makes me hurt so bad to see you again.
Rhythm and blues. You see the roots of where she's going on this album. You see the roots of what the great Lauryn Hill is doing. So let's keep going. If we're going to compare the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill to any genre during the time of the late 90s, it has to go into the neo soul category. Because when we get into the late 90s, mainstream rhythm and blues was definitely going into a direction of single genre work. Let me say that again. Mainstream R&B at that time was going into the direction of single genre music. It was what they call neo soul that broke that. When you listen to neo soul, what we call neo soul, you got to start with the blueprint was D'Angelo. It was Michelle Indigio had a smaller album that came out before, but it was really right here when we get to Brown Sugar. When we get here, this is where that sound starts to come from. Bluesy, soulful. This was a change in direction at that time.
Let me tell you about this girl, maybe I should. I met her in Philly, and her name was Brown Sugar. See, we be making love constantly, that's why my eyes are a shade blood burgundy. The way that we kiss is unlike any other way that I be kissing when I'm kissing. What I'm missing, won't you listen? Brown sugar, babe, I guess high up your love, I don't know how to behave.
So that you start to get that feel. Then you get an all right.
Whoa, yeah.
Old school. And then right here he gets into. Now this is easily. This is right here. These are like, what can I say? Standards. This is more of a standard. But you see, when D'Angelo came around, he brought back the live sound. You know? It was great music going on at that time. But when you go to, let's say, juxtapose that to, say, a Monica song. This is where rhythm and blues was going at that time. Great singing, but the beats, the music production was very. It was done on a computer. Great music. And that's actually Superman Lover by Johnny Guitar Watson. If y'all want to hear where that song comes from, it's that's an easy one. That comes from this. But you hear that, Brandy, I want to be down. The music of the 90s, I don't want to take any slight away from the music of the 90s. But when you get into music of the 90s, the production, the mainstream production had gone very plastic, very much so in the box, square. You know, it started to get, the production style was very straight ahead. You hear that? That texture. That's an early Usher, you know? But when the Soulquarians came, when Neo Soul came, they brought back the live instrumentation. And it brought the textures back. And a major important album to that time was Erykah Badu's On and On. Because at the time the music was going in that direction, it was Baduism. It was Baduism that came out. Live band. You hear the textures coming back.
Yeah, we've been knowing each other.
That Soulquarian side was bringing back the live music, you know, versus good music, but this R&B production. Another good song, but it become reliant upon samples and on a lot of rigid computer-based production versus when you had Urban Hang Sweet, you had that versus this. And this was produced by Leon Ware. That comes out of Leon Ware, who also produced this by Marvin Gaye. Same Leon Ware. From Leon Ware, from this to something to something. Come on, why ain't that song playing? Why ain't that song playing? Whatever. I made my point when it comes to that. So, but you see that clear lineage connection between neo soul, how we got to neo soul. There was a divergence in the 80s to where the music was going, the rhythm and blues was going into more of a box, similar to what that guy said when we were talking about how rock and roll got taken out for hip hop. So was rhythm and blues. They took out rhythm and blues by slowly taking away the qualities that make rhythm and blues. What makes rhythm and blues rhythm and blues? Let me tell you. Live instrumentation, background singing, strings, horns, and production. When you take away the strings, the live instrumentation, the background singing, you lose the true essence of what rhythm and blues is. So you see, when you listen to the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, when you listen to the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, you're listening to an album that's bringing back those sounds. It's bringing back what the industry took. And then she goes into Earl. Then she says, okay, no. Even though I'm over here with this, she goes back into early 90s. This is early 90s R&B. Mary J. Blige with the song Real Love switched the change in the tenor of where rhythm and blues was going. So Lauryn Hill had the diversity on his album to take you back to 1992.
One situation.
And then she goes back to gospel.
Forgive us. Not what they do.
She used this hip hop style production. On this album, she uses hip hop style production to sing a gospel song.
Beware the false motives of others. Be careful of those who pretend to be brothers.
A cautionary tale. A message. Like traditional R&B. Traditional R&B always had a message. Songs about the ghetto.
City and suburban place I've been make me recall my days in the New Jerusalem. You know, story starts in Hooterville. Grew up next to Ivy Hill when kids were
stories about growing up in the inner city. That goes across genres from jazz to rhythm and blues. Songs like A Message from the Inner City. But this is just a musical. Crusaders. That's, you know, that's songs about the ghetto. Songs like Trouble Man.
I come up hard, baby, but that's okay.
Songs about the ghetto. You got songs like Ghetto Woman by B.B. King, going back to the blues.
Waiting for a man to come home. Oh, poor ghetto woman, waiting for a man to.
Songs about the ghetto.
Yes, the TV on, radio blasting the news.
Ghetto Samba. Johnny Hammond Smith. Ghetto music. Outkast.
With a frown on my face. In the place to be and not to be at the same
Ghetto Life by Rick James. Songs about growing up in the ghetto. That ain't just hip hop.
When I was a young boy, growing up in the ghetto, hanging out on corners, singing with the fellas, looking for the cute chicks, trying to find me big fun, looking for some trouble, for anyone who give me some. I was young and crazy
In the ghetto.
didn't know what my life would be. I was dumb and oh so lazy. Something had a spell on me.
So rapping and singing about the ghetto, whether you're dealing with blues, you see, I was able to show you ghetto talk from Ghetto Woman by B.B. King to the Ghetto Samba by Johnny Hammond Smith to Sounds of the Ghetto by the Crusaders to Ghetto Life by Rick James to the Ghetto by Too Short to Lauryn Hill. Songs about the ghetto. That's why I say music is a sonic interpretation of our environment. That's how I was able to coin that term. All you gotta do is listen. And so in the album, and I encourage you guys to go, I'm not gonna read the whole album, the whole article for you, because I want you guys to go back and read it. I just gave you guys different examples than what I have written on here. What I've written on the website, we go in talking about the different genres that hits on. And we go into talking about on this article that rap did not begin with hip hop. We got art. Every time people want to say, oh, she rapped, rap did not begin with hip hop. Rap did not begin with hip hop. Rap did not begin with hip hop. Earlier, I played you guys Saturday Night Fish Fry. Now I'm playing you another Louis Jordan song. Rapping.
Right, me, Beans and cornbread had a fight. Beans knocked cornbread out of sight. Cornbread said, now that's all right. Meet me on the corner tomorrow night. I'll be ready. I'll be ready tomorrow night. I'll be ready. I'll be ready tomorrow night. I'll be ready.
We've always rapped. We've always rapped. And if you go back to late 80s, early 90s R&B, they had the singers rapping too. They had goddamn Bobby Brown rapping on Ghostbusters. I remember this.
Too hot to handle, too cold to hold. They called the Ghostbusters and they in control. Had a throwing party for a bunch of children. Well, all the while the slime was under the building. So they packed up, regrouped, got a grip, came equipped, grabbed their proton packs off the back, then they split. Found out about Vigo, the master of evil. Try to battle my boys? That's not legal. They're in control.
So even when we get into the 80s and the 90s, you still had rap infused with rhythm and blues, with no connection to what they call hip hop. And so I encourage y'all to go to incensandashtrays.com and read the rest of the article. Now, let's drive home this point right here. And it's getting hot as hell in this room, so it's 90 degrees in LA right now, and I ain't got my air conditioner hooked up, so I ain't gonna be here too much longer. So let's go back to it. The reason why I'm doing this is because oftentimes hip hop want to have it both ways. They want to tell you the elements of hip hop is DJing, breakdancing, graffiti. They ain't no DJ. It's very few DJs. There's some scratching on Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, but it's not produced primarily by a DJ. It's consciousness, but consciousness is in all black music that hasn't been touched by corporations. Ain't nobody b-boying. Ain't no graffiti. But because, see, people like taking credit. I was watching Joe and Jada, and Fat Joe was trying to take credit, put the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, I saw a highlight, in the hip-hop category. Well, based on y'all standards that y'all create for it, this ain't fitting in that. This is fitting in the rhythm and the blues. I didn't even get to the song that Miss Lauryn Hill had with D'Angelo, the godfather of neo soul. So if you're going to put the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill into any one genre of the time, it would have to be neo soul. But neo soul is just rhythm and blues. It's rhythm and blues unmolested by the music industry. That's what neo soul is. You see how on this album, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, she fits into the genres, into the what we did and what we do in our music as far as being a multi-genre group of people. It's in the classic tradition of Black American music. That's what the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill is. Just like a lot of hip hop, but does she have hip hop elements in it? Yeah, most definitely. But hip hop is rooted in rhythm and blues, which is rooted in blues and jazz. So that's why I wanted to have this discussion today. What's up, Patreon? I said it's 42 degrees in DC. Shit. Fuck that. It's 90 something in LA right now. James, I appreciate the Cash App. Justin Hunt sent me a lot. It's a lot of people that liked what we did yesterday. On Justin Hunt's show, yeah. Oh yeah, a lot of people like what we talked about yesterday. Salute to Justin Hunt. But the chat room, have I given you something to think about? Have I given y'all something to think about? Black American music is multi-genre. We don't buckle our music down to a genre. And that's what made the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill such a special album. Genres both exist and don't exist at the same time. Understand what I'm saying? Genres both exist and don't exist at the same time. Genres are nothing more than changes of expression. Think of a genre like this. There's Black American music. There's you as a person. You are the music. Sometimes you feel sad, so you're going to put on a melancholy song. Bobby Harris, I appreciate the super chat. And then 2 minutes later, you feel happy. Then you're going to produce something of that feeling. And then you may 5 minutes later be introspective. You're going to produce thoughts that are introspective. That's what genres are. You have certain genres that make you introspective. You have other genres that make you dance. Other genres that make you feel. Other genres that make you not feel. No different than your day-to-day expression in life. You go through life with different expressions and different feelings all day, every day. Just because you feel in a certain way now, don't mean you've changed as a person. It just means what you feeling in the moment has changed. And that's what a genre is. Genre is a feeling. But all of these genres are based, stocked in the Black American musical experience. And you can get your Black American music family tree at DewanB.com. You can get it at DewanB.com. You can visit you can visit incenseandashtrays.com to read the article. But you can get your t-shirts, your hoodies, and your Black American music family tree artwork at DewanB.com. You can read that article at incenseandashtrays.com. And you can support the mission at bamfamilytree.org. Preserving the roots, celebrating the sound, educating the world. That's what we're doing at the BAM Family Tree Foundation, all right? I'm really not taking any calls because I'm about to get the hell on out of here. I'll take this one call. I'll take this one call, but I'm about to get the hell on out of here. Oh, they hung up. Too bad. So sad. I meant to hit answer. I tried to. But we'll probably have a late night live tonight, and we'll talk some more about this, all right? We're gonna have a late night live tonight, talk some more about this. All right? Thank y'all again for listening. Hey. Oh, you already did answer. What's up? Who this?
Oh, okay, yeah. I was like, you say you hung up.
I thought you hung up. What's going on, brother? Well, I'll take your call. What's going on?
Hey, just a quick question. Might be a little left field. I didn't get to catch your broadcast today. But do you think Lauryn Hill might be Haitian as well, like Croswell and freaking Wyclef? I've looked it up before, but just saying somebody, I know it's left field. Saying somebody is Black American doesn't mean much, because the way her eyes look, I always wondered if she was.
I'm gonna stop you right there, brother. I ain't got all into it. She said she Black American. I'm rolling with it. She ain't done nothing to say we need to delineate. So I'm not. I don't really waste energy where it's not gonna be anything constructive for me, and that's not a constructive conversation right now. But thanks for giving us a call right now,
my
brother.
apologies, man.
It's all good. Thanks for giving us a call. Yeah. I don't know what she is. She says she black. I'm gonna roll with it. She ain't done nothing, so I'm just gonna stick with it. Lost one doo-wop and most hip hop. Most hip hop. Yeah. But remember, doo-wop thing literally named after doo-wop, a whole genre in itself. Sorry about that. I can't sing. All right. But thank y'all again for listening. Y'all have a good one. We'll be back late tonight. Y'all have a good one.